Survival games are an interesting genre. As someone who has tried a host of different titles under the survival banner, there's always seems to come a point where you've survived really well, but the game keeps going. You've unlocked the greatest tech, built the best weapons, and have even created a 2-scale model of the Death Star with the base building tools, simply because you could. Something that I find never really gets fleshed out though, is the endgame. However, thanks to the good folks over at Frostkeep Studios, a few of us here at MMORPG have had the opportunity to dive into their latest survival title, Rend. Currently in early access, this fantasy adventure meets team-based survival title on the surface offers many of the mechanics I've come to expect from games in this genre. Some solid harvesting and crafting mixed with some interesting enemies and locations make it a solid entry. However, as I've explored the world of Rend, I've discovered that, like one of my favorite childhood shows, and currently on my top 5 most hated movies franchise list, there are more here than meets the eye. I'm Matt, and here's 3 reasons you should be trying Rend. Unlike many other games in the survival genre that essentially become about who can rule the server with the biggest guild, while all the other players run and hide, Rend is designed from the ground up with team play in mind. The map is essentially divided into 3 sections, with each being a mirror of the other 2. At the center of each, you will find your faction's stronghold, which houses the team's resources, crafting stations, and spirit tree, which acts as a vault for your team's points. Each team works to build up and defend their base, which will be open to raids from both AI and other factions at key moments during the game. Players work together to share tech, resources, and your battling or engineering prowess to defend your stronghold. Ultimately, collecting wisp-like creatures in the wild and depositing them at your tree, or stealing them from other factions' strongholds, is the key to the final victory, which really is actually a great segue to my next point. Rend has an endgame. The servers work in cycles with a clean slate reset happening after a set amount of time. A faction winner is determined based on the amount of wisps collected during the playthrough. As I've only spent a few hours in the game at this point, one of the first things that I've noticed is that camaraderie forms really quickly. Not only is this a nice feature, but it really is a mandatory part of being successful. Having a focused goal, a time limit, and mechanics that essentially make everything you do contribute to your faction really brings the team together quickly. At the moment, a faction victory means that players get rewards that can be used on the next server cycle, creating some persistence even after a server reset. It's an interesting system that offers something I've never yet experienced in the genre. Many games in the survival genre allow you to focus in on a set of crafting skill trees so as to contribute to your guild or faction, but because of their endless nature, eventually you really do end up maxing out all of the skill trees, and then you go on to build the aforementioned Death Star. And Rend, however, due to the cyclical nature of the servers, you really do need to specialize in order to succeed, and as such, the mechanics lend themselves to that design. Want to be the best harvester on your faction? Great, you're needed. You want to have those sweet bow skills to take out enemies both AI and in PvP? Great, you're still needed. The point is that no matter where you focus your time and energy, Rend is designed so that it all works towards that goal of server dominance. With a timed victory or defeat always on the horizon, players can try a multitude of builds with each cycle until you find the exact way you want to play. In all honesty, I've only put a few hours into Rend, but already I can see the uniqueness of the title at work. I've met a bunch of people in a short time, and I've loved the community atmosphere that has developed around the title. I'm not typically a PvP player, but I'm finding that knowing that there's a focused group of people working together has allowed me the opportunity to ease into it. Plus, knowing that I can actually focus on the PvE elements through gathering, crafting, and exploring and still contribute to the PvP side of the game makes me want to spend more time here. Yes, the game is in early access, and there's still a lot of work to be done, but this title has loads of potential. So be sure to head over to the Rend Steam page posted in the description for more information on the title, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos like this. I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.